So this is Scuba Steve. Dolled him up a little bit. All he is just a cheap skeleton. You can get these at like Walmart or Spirit. I forget where we even got him. He was just very cheap. First thing you want to do is you do not want to cut this off. This kind of holds this whole head together. This string comes in. I don't know if you can see it in there. Ties inside. The way we chose to do this was with the PICO TALK. With the 3, it has a head, eyes, and mouth movement. Picked up, I think 4 servos for, they were about, I think 12 bucks a piece. We're just using the 3 in here. Airplane connectors. Everything here was pretty much Amazon except for this. And we just wired it right in here to servos right here. We ended up cutting his back, put the servo right in, hot glue gunned it. It's holding with no issues so far. His mouth, I wonder if I can open his mouth. Come on, let me do it. No. There we go. His mouth, I ended up cutting right through underneath, putting the wire piece. It went right through, and I made a hole through his teeth and attached it in there. So when he closes his mouth, it's very hard to do right now. This was kind of the hardest part in this whole thing, was getting this to close. I didn't know a better way to do it, but that's the way I chose to do it. It seems simple enough. It's on a hinge here. I ended up cutting this out because running the wire after, I found it extremely difficult to try and get the wire from the servo through the back of the head where you wouldn't see it. So I ended up cutting a hole here, and it just made sense to cut the hole on the other side. Ran the wire down in there, and that's just hot glue gunned in. These servos are metal components inside, but the cheaper of the variety, or the cheapest ones. So with the PICO TALK 3, you've got the mouth, the eyes, and the head. Scuba Steve doesn't have any eyes, but if we did, the eyes could shift back and forth, but decided not to go that route. And this servo's connecting the eyes, and this servo's connecting the head. So what they do is they work kind of independently, and they are set up, they can put them on randomizing, so they'll just adjust and they'll move his head like that on random. Pretty standard. I just screwed it in right to his back, all his components and everything. These things are a pain. They always like to fall out. There's probably a better way to do this, but I don't know any. So that's him. We just dolled him up a little bit. Gave him some extra paint. Job done. Now, power cord is a 5-volt DC 2 amp. That's what they recommend for this. That's what it is. I have them set up on just a quick little generator, but you can plug them in however you want. So there's your power. And the way I have the audio set up is a little weird. So What I'm using is one of these little receivers. It's just a receiver for music. It's a Bluetooth receiver, so I can Bluetooth anything to it off my phone. Plug it in, and this has it's a splitter. It gives you two 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. One goes to Scuba Steve. The other one goes to a radio that I have for auxiliary. And so now, once I'm tied into that, I can just press play. And he'll just do the thing. One thing, you're probably wondering where I'm getting all this music from. I'm going online and finding different sounds on websites, just sound websites that have random sounds that are free. And then I'm putting that in Audacity and I'm blending it together and then exporting it as an MP3, import it out to my Spotify, and I've got all different songs and sounds. So, a couple things, big things actually, when you're setting this up. Big thing, if you're doing this, put your servos in, plug it in, find out where these go to 0. When I first did this, I didn't know what I was doing, and I plugged it in. I had this all hooked up, and I'm like, okay, everything looks good. I turned it on. 0 was completely the other way, and these broke and everything went to hell. So, 0 these out first, and then put them into where you want, and then you can start adjusting them after the power is on. Okay, adjusting them, need a small Phillips. So first thing we want to do, we're going to reset everything. I'm going to hold the set button, nothing is plugged in, and now we're blinking red. One blinking red, one blinking red. It will go through. We're gonna start setting them. This is, have that here. Yeah. And the mouth. Okay, so the first one is centering. This mode will center both servos. The first one is so the servo doesn't hyperextend. I'm gonna go all the way and then back it off 1/4 inch or 1/4 turn. Number 2. 2 blinks, mouth closed position. So mouth closed position and trip. 1, 2, 3. Mouth open position. Now I want to open the mouth all the way. That's a little too much. Right there. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is left limit. Turn adjustment until the eyes are almost all the way to the left. So for his eyes, we are using this servo is now his eyes, which is moving this. So right about there. And his eye right limit. So now we're going to get 5 lights. And we're gonna turn it until I'm happy. So right about there. So his range will be, his range will be that to that. That'll be his range. All the way that way, it doesn't really matter. It's not really doing anything. And we'll go right to there. Okay, now we're gonna set his other one, which is the head. Yeah. So the head, we use this as the eyes. Scuba Steve doesn't have any eyes. And this one's gonna be for the head. So that's torquing it right there. And right there. Hit it again. And now we are in yellow. So good. We just ran through all these and now we're in yellow. Random movement. So I want lots of random movements. So I'm gonna turn it up. How does that look? Yeah. Slows, fasts. And if I turn it all the way down, he's going really nothing. So we'll turn it back up, and I'll just back it off 1/8 of a turn. You're gonna have to play with it a bit. Next. Audio sensitivity. So let's put on you have to adjust the mouth and your phone and the volume at the same time. So I want to be about, on the volume on my phone, about 2 less, sometimes 3. So right now he's talking, his mouth just stays open. Set that down. We're going to adjust the sensitivity. Okay, let's turn it all the way to one side. Not really doing much. We're going to slowly turn it clockwise. So not bad. Not bad right now. There's still another thing, we have to work on the speed on his jaw. Yeah, we'll work on that. Okay, I'm happy with that. The next one is LED brightness. And we don't have any LEDs, so I'm not worried about that. So it doesn't matter where I set it to. LED eyes mode. The behavior of the LED eyes, which I'm not worried about. If you wanted, you could. Next thing we're going to work on is the advanced programming. Just ran through these. These. By holding the set button for 5 seconds during normal operation. Adjust counterclockwise before entering this mode. We're gonna go full counterclockwise, and we're gonna hold this for 5 seconds till we get green blinking. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay. Servo range set between 90 and 180 degrees. We're just gonna put this on halfway. Okay. Number 2. Servo sleep, enable or disable. Turn adjustment screw counterclockwise to enable the servo sleeping. I want it to go to sleep when not in use. So turn it counterclockwise and click. Mouth servo speed. Yeah, we're adjusting the speed in his mouth now. Turn it all the way down. Very sensitive right now. This is full. I think he's okay. Okay. We're gonna flip it. 1, 2, 3, 4 greens. That's the head servo speed. Maximum head speed. Be patient for the step. We'll just turn it all the way up. That's that side. The eyes are different, but it's the way I have it rigged up. Cool. I'm happy with that. Okay. Now he's adjusted.